The minute I joined this group, I knew I was the odd one out. I appeared with my Trek bicycle, fatter tires, straight handlebars, bell, kickstand. Everybody else had fancy schmancy road bikes, the drop handlebars, lightweight, the skinny tires. And so I got all these odd, funny looks, and I just knew I was the odd person out. I was joining a bicycle group for a Civil War Odyssey trip down south through Virginia, Maryland, and Pennsylvania. I'd done a lot of bicycling as a young person. As a teenager, I went on American Youth Hostel trips through New England and Canada. I led AYH trips, both here and abroad. I became the International Travel Director at the American Youth Hostel's national headquarters in New York City. I did a lot of bicycling, but it was on those old-fashioned bikes, you know, with the 3 gears and the fatter tires and the kickstands, regular pedals. Then that was in the early 60s. 65, Tom and I got married. 69, we moved to Peterborough, had a couple of kids. I was a stay-at-home mom, and then I went back to work. One job I had was at Yankee Publishing. And then I got a call in 2004 from 2 of my older brothers, and they said, "Linda, we're going on a Civil War Odyssey bicycle trip. Do you want to join us?" I jumped at the chance. We were especially excited because our grandfather fought in the Battle of Antietam. Now, I hadn't been on a bicycle for 40 years. I had skied, I'd played tennis, I did some hiking, but not a bike. So here we are, 2004, I'm 65 years old. How in the world am I going to get into shape to cycle 40, 50, 60 miles a day in the winter here? I took a class in stationary bicycling at Performance Fitness, and that did the trick. I was ready to go. So I hop in the car with my Trek bike and go on down to Virginia. The first couple of days were really tough riding. Those rolling hills and horse country in Virginia, and it was a long ways and tough riding. Second day was even more challenging. At the end of that day, my brother Richard came to me and she said, "Linda, this is too hard for me. I'm going to go home." And then one of the gals in the group also said she had to go home. But not me. I was determined. I was not going to leave early. So we're cycling and having a good time. We'd stop at a historical site. I'd put my kickstand down and go off and look at the monument. Everybody else had to go look around and hunt for a fence or a tree to put their fancy bicycles up against, you know. Maybe the odd person out had something going for her after all. And then maybe if you stand up for what you believe in and then kick it up a notch, things go well. But my biggest challenge, it turned out, in the trip happened because I got saddle sore. I had never worn tight bicycle shorts. And I thought I would wear my tennis panties because they would absorb the perspiration on these hot days, you know, for the long trips. Wrong. I got more sore and more sore down you know where, red rash. I snuck into drugstores to try to get baby powder. No, didn't work. Those tubes of diaper ointments, they worked on my kids. No, that didn't work. Finally, I had to ask one of the other gals at breakfast, and I admitted my problem with her, told her that I was so sore. And she said, "No problem, Linda. I have butt cream for you." I said, "Oh my gosh, what is butt cream?" I didn't care. I smeared it all over there. "And Linda," she said, "never wear panties." I said, "Oh my gosh, I've never gone without panties in my whole life." But I ran to my room and, and smeared it all over and took my panties off. And her husband had, by the way, overheard the conversation. And he said, men don't wear underpants either. I said, a little too much information for me. I was a little embarrassed. Later that afternoon, we stopped at a covered bridge just for a rest and look around. And the husband comes over to me and he whispers in my ear and he said, furthermore, after a long ride, very often men get numb down there. I said, oh my gosh, is that where the expression numbnuts comes from? You idiot men. It was right then and there I decided to take a survey at cocktail hour that night. So I was asking everybody whether they wear underpants or not. I got a lot of laughs about that. And then people started sharing some of their experiences and challenges and all riding. I felt a lot more a part of the group. I wasn't just the odd person out anymore. It was really fun. So, I said, let myself go and have a good time. And the saddle sore was gone. So it was terrific. The next couple of summers, I went out west to Bryson and Zion in Utah on a bicycle trip. Then I cycled along the coast of Maine. Today, I wander around the Monadnock region on my Trek bike, wearing my tight shorts without panties, camera in hand. So if you see some old lady, flowing white hair in the region around town, and you're wearing those tight shorts with no panties, you'll know it's me.